Hey Taurus, I hope you're ready for this reading because what just came through is absolutely mind-blowing. I've been doing tarot for years, and sometimes the cards just hit differently, you know? Today is one of those days. The energy around your situation is so thick I can practically feel it through the screen. So I'm sitting here with my cards, and I asked Spirit to show me what's happening with that person who's been on your mind. You know exactly who I'm talking about. That person who chose someone else, who walked away, who thought they could do better. Well, honey, the universe has some news for them, and it's not pretty. Before we dive in, I want you to take a deep breath with me. Whatever you're feeling right now, whether it's anger, sadness, or that bittersweet satisfaction, it's all valid. The cards are about to reveal some intense truths about what's been happening behind the scenes while you've been healing and growing. Let me pull the first card, and oh wow. I'm getting the King of Pentacles. And this energy is so strong, I actually had to put the card down for a second. This is representing them, your person, and the message here is absolutely staggering. The King of Pentacles usually shows someone who has their life together, someone successful and stable. But in this context, it's showing me someone who's been playing a role. They've been trying to convince themselves and everyone around them that they made the right choice by staying with this other person. But here's what's really happening. This King of Pentacles is reversed in energy even though it came out upright. They're struggling financially, emotionally, spiritually. Every area of their life feels like it's crumbling, and they know it's because they chose the wrong person. The King of Pentacles represents material security and earthly success, but theirs feels hollow. They wake up every morning next to someone they settled for, and they feel this gnawing regret in their chest. I'm seeing them lying in bed at night, staring at the ceiling, thinking about you. They remember how natural everything felt with you, how effortless love was supposed to be. With this other person, everything is work. Every conversation feels forced. Every gesture feels calculated. They're wealthy in possessions maybe, but bankrupt in genuine happiness. The King of Pentacles shows me they're successful on paper, but dying inside because they chose security over soul connection. This card is telling me they're in a relationship where they have to perform, where they can't be their authentic self. You know how Taurus energy is all about authenticity and genuine connection? They had that with you, and they threw it away for someone who looked good on paper. Now they're living this Instagram perfect life that feels like a prison. The King of Pentacles is showing me they've built this beautiful castle, but it feels empty because the right person isn't there to share it with. I'm also seeing late night drives where they find themselves driving past places that remind them of you. Coffee shops, bookstores, that park where you used to walk together. The King of Pentacles represents someone who's supposed to be grounded and settled, but this person feels completely unrooted because they're with the wrong person. They're successful but restless, wealthy but unfulfilled. The King of Pentacles is also showing me something else that's going to blow your mind. They've been comparing this other person to you constantly. Every little thing this person does wrong, every way they fall short, it all gets measured against the standard you set. You weren't even trying to set a standard, you were just being yourself. But now they realize that your natural way of loving, of caring, of being present, that was something special they took for granted. Now let me pull the second card, and I'm getting Justice and Taurus. This is the universe saying, finally. Justice is about karma, about balance, about getting what you deserve. And this card is practically vibrating with vindication energy. The scales are balancing out, and guess what? Justice is on your side. Justice is telling me that this person is facing the consequences of their choice, and it's happening in ways they never expected. Remember how they probably tried to justify leaving you? Maybe they said you weren't compatible, or they needed someone more this or more that. Well, justice is showing me that every single reason they gave for leaving you is now being thrown back in their face with this other person. Did they say you were too independent? Now they're with someone who's completely dependent and suffocating. Did they say you were too emotional? Now they're with someone who's cold as ice, and they're craving the warmth you brought to their life. Did they say you weren't ambitious enough? Now they're with someone whose ambition is crushing their spirit and making them feel small. Justice works in such beautiful ways. This card is showing me that life is teaching them what they really lost when they lost you. Every day they're learning another lesson about how rare and precious what you two had really was. Justice isn't just about punishment, it's about truth, and the truth is crystallizing for them in ways that are impossible to ignore. I'm seeing arguments, constant tension, that feeling of walking on eggshells. The Justice card is showing me that this other relationship requires so much work, so much compromise of their authentic self, that they're exhausted. With you, love felt natural, it felt easy, it felt right. Now they're learning the hard way that love isn't supposed to be a constant battle. Justice is also revealing something profound about timing. When they left you, they thought they were making a smart decision, maybe even the practical decision. But justice shows that divine timing had other plans. You've been growing, healing, becoming even more amazing. While they've been stuck in this situation that's slowly draining their life force, the scales are showing that you got the better deal even though it didn't feel like it at the time. The Justice card is also showing me legal or official complications with this other person. Maybe marriage feels like a trap instead of a celebration. Maybe shared finances are a source of stress instead of security. Everything that should bring them together is actually pushing them apart, and they're seeing how different it was with you, where everything flowed naturally. Moving to the third card, and I'm getting the Page of Pentacles, and this is where things get really interesting. The Page of Pentacles represents new beginnings, fresh starts, someone who's learning and growing. But in this reading, it's showing me their desperate attempts to start over, to make this wrong relationship work, and how all their efforts are falling flat. The Page of Pentacles is like a student, eager and hopeful, but ultimately inexperienced. That's exactly how they feel in this relationship. They keep trying new approaches, new ways to make it work, new compromises, but nothing sticks because the foundation is wrong. You can't build lasting love on a foundation of settling, and that's what the Page of Pentacles is showing me they're learning. I'm seeing them reading relationship books, maybe going to counseling, trying all these techniques to manufacture the kind of natural connection they had with you. The Page of Pentacles shows effort and good intentions, but when you have to work this hard just to achieve basic compatibility, it's a sign something is fundamentally off. This card is also showing me their attempts to convince themselves they're happy. Social media posts that look perfect but feel hollow. Date nights that feel like obligations instead of celebrations. The Page of Pentacles represents someone learning a new skill, and that's what they're doing. Learning how to pretend to be happy in a relationship that doesn't fulfill them. But here's where the Page of Pentacles gets really revealing. Pages are messengers, and this page is bringing them messages about you constantly. They see things that remind them of your sense of humor, your kindness, your unique way of seeing the world. The Page of Pentacles is showing me they're getting these little reminders everywhere they go that what they had with you was special and irreplaceable. The Page of Pentacles also represents new opportunities, and I'm seeing them fantasizing about a different life, a life where they made a different choice. They're daydreaming about what could have been, what should have been. This card shows me they're mentally rehearsing conversations with you, imagining what they would say if they had the chance to explain, to apologize, to try again. This page energy is also showing me their fear of taking real action. Pages are young and sometimes indecisive, and that's exactly what this person is right now. They know they made a mistake, but they feel trapped by their own choices. They want to reach out, but they're scared of rejection, scared of admitting they were wrong, scared of the consequences of finally telling the truth. Let me pull the fourth card, and I'm getting the Three of Cups and Taurus. This is so revealing. I actually got chills. The Three of Cups is about celebration, friendship, community. But in this reading, it's showing me the complete opposite of what they're experiencing. They're supposed to be celebrating their life with this other person, but instead they feel isolated and disconnected. The Three of Cups traditionally shows three women celebrating together, representing joy, sisterhood, shared happiness. But I'm seeing this card reversed in energy, showing me how lonely they feel even when they're with this other person. They remember how you brought joy and lightness to their life, how being with you felt like a celebration of life itself. I'm getting strong visions of them at social gatherings, parties, family events, standing next to this other person, but feeling completely alone. The Three of Cups shows me they're going through the motions of happiness, but they're not feeling it in their soul. People around them might think they look like the perfect couple, but inside they feel like they're acting in a play where they've forgotten their lines. This card is also showing me something beautiful about your energy. While they're struggling to find joy in their situation, you've been building genuine connections, real friendships, authentic celebrations of life. The Three of Cups represents your energy now, surrounded by people who truly appreciate and value you. The contrast is stark, and they're feeling it. The Three of Cups is also revealing their regret about missing out on celebrating life with you. All those milestones, holidays, special moments that should have been shared between you two, they're experiencing them with the wrong person, and it feels hollow. Every birthday, every achievement, every moment of joy feels incomplete because they're not sharing it with their person, with you. I'm also seeing them looking at photos from when you two were together, and the difference in their energy is obvious. In pictures with you, their smile reaches their eyes, their body language is relaxed and natural. In recent photos with this other person, they look tense, forced, like they're trying too hard to appear happy. The Three of Cups is showing me this contrast is becoming impossible to ignore. This card is also about intuitive connections, and they're realizing how rare it is to find someone you can be completely yourself with. With this other person, they have to filter themselves, hold back parts of who they are. With you, they could be authentic, vulnerable, real. The Three of Cups is showing me they're mourning the loss of that genuine connection every single day. Now I'm pulling the fifth card and I get the Knight of Pentacles, and this energy is so heavy I can feel their frustration through the cards. The Knight of Pentacles is usually about slow, steady progress, being methodical and practical. But in this reading, it's showing me how stuck they feel. They're trapped in this situation they created, and every day feels like they're trudging through mud. The Knight of Pentacles moves slowly, and that's exactly how time feels for them now. Days drag by, weeks blur together, and they feel like they're sleepwalking through their life. Remember how time used to fly when you were together? How hours would feel like minutes because you were so connected, so present with each other. Now they're experiencing the complete opposite. This Knight is also showing me their practical nature working against them. Knights are about action, but the Knight of Pentacles is the most cautious of all the Knights. They want to change their situation, they want to reach out to you, but they're paralyzed by practicality. What would people think? What about shared finances, shared friends, shared responsibilities? The Knight of Pentacles shows me they feel trapped by the life they've built with the wrong person. I'm seeing them going through their daily routine like a robot. Work, home, dinner, sleep, repeat. The Knight of Pentacles represents dedication and hard work. But when you're working hard on the wrong life, it just leads to exhaustion and resentment. They're putting effort into maintaining a relationship that requires constant maintenance instead of growing naturally. The Knight of Pentacles is also showing me their regret about not fighting for you when they had the chance. Knights are supposed to be brave, but this Knight shows me they chose the safe path instead of the right path. They took the practical route instead of following their heart, and now they're living with the consequences of that choice. This card is also revealing their desperate attempts to make this relationship work through sheer willpower. The Knight of Pentacles is determined and persistent, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to force love, trying to manufacture passion, trying to create chemistry that just isn't naturally there. But love can't be forced, and the Knight of Pentacles is showing me their exhaustion from trying. I'm also seeing them making lists, pros and cons, trying to rationalize their situation. The Knight of Pentacles is very methodical, very analytical, but some things can't be analyzed. Love is one of those things. They had real love with you, and they know it can't be replicated through logic or effort with someone else. Let me pull the sixth card, and I'm getting Temperance. And this is where things get really deep. Temperance is about balance, moderation, finding the middle path. But in this reading, it's showing me how completely out of balance their life has become. Temperance usually represents harmony and peace, but they're experiencing the complete opposite. Temperance shows an angel pouring water between two cups, representing the flow of emotions and the balance between different aspects of life. But I'm seeing those cups overflowing, spilling, making a mess. They can't find balance because they're living a lie. They can't find peace because they're in the wrong relationship. They can't find harmony because they're fighting against their own heart every single day. This card is also showing me their attempts to moderate their feelings for you, to water down their memories, to convince themselves what you had wasn't that special. But temperance works both ways, and the more they try to diminish their feelings for you, the more obvious it becomes that those feelings are permanent and real. You can't moderate true love. You can only honor it or suffer without it. Temperance is also about divine timing, and this card is telling me that everything is happening exactly as it should. While they're struggling to find balance in the wrong situation, you've been finding your center, your peace, your authentic self. The divine timing shows that this separation has been serving your highest good, even when it was painful. I'm seeing them trying meditation, maybe yoga, self-help books, anything to find peace with their choice. But temperance shows me that true peace can only come from alignment with your authentic path, and they're walking someone else's path right now. They're trying to find balance on quicksand, and it's impossible. The Temperance card is also showing me their realization about what real partnership looks like. Temperance represents two becoming one while maintaining individuality, and that's what they had with you. With this other person, they feel like they're losing themselves, becoming someone they don't recognize. True temperance in love means growing together while staying true to yourself, and they're learning they can only do that with the right person. This card is also about patience, and ironically, it's showing me their impatience with their current situation. They want to feel settled, they want to feel at peace, they want to feel like they're home, but they can't because they're with the wrong person. Temperance is teaching them that you can't rush genuine feelings, you can't force authentic connection, and you can't create home with someone who doesn't belong in your heart. Now I'm pulling the 7th card, and I get the 7 of Wands, and wow, this energy is intense. The 7 of Wands is about defending your position, fighting for what you believe in, standing your ground against opposition. In this reading, it's showing me they're constantly having to defend their choice to everyone, including themselves. The 7 of Wands shows a figure standing on higher ground, fending off 6 wands coming from below. That's exactly their situation. They're constantly fighting to maintain the illusion that they're happy, constantly defending this relationship that doesn't feel right, constantly battling against their own inner knowing that tells them they made a mistake. I'm seeing arguments with this other person that feel endless and pointless. The 7 of Wands shows conflict that never gets resolved because the foundation is wrong. They're fighting about small things because they can't address the big thing, which is that they don't belong together. Every disagreement feels like a battle because there's no underlying harmony to fall back on. This card is also showing me their defensiveness when people ask about you. The 7 of Wands represents someone who's fighting from a position of weakness, and that's exactly how they feel when your name comes up. They get defensive, they change the subject, they make excuses, because deep down they know everyone can see they were happier with you. The 7 of Wands is also about fighting for your beliefs, but I'm seeing them fighting against their beliefs. They believe in real love, authentic connection, genuine partnership, but they're living the opposite of all those things. The internal conflict is exhausting them, and it shows in everything they do. I'm also seeing them feeling like they have to prove to everyone that this relationship is working. Social media posts that feel desperate, public displays of affection that feel performative, constant reassurance seeking from friends and family. The 7 of Wands shows someone fighting an uphill battle, and that's exactly what it feels like for them every day. This card is revealing something else that's really important. The Seven of Wands often appears when someone is fighting for something valuable, something worth defending. But in their case, they're fighting for something that isn't serving them, something that's actually harming them. It's like defending a position that you know is wrong just because you don't want to admit you made a mistake. The Seven of Wands is also showing me their jealousy and resentment when they see you thriving. Part of them wants to reach out and reconnect, but another part of them is fighting against that impulse because it would mean admitting they were wrong. They're at war with themselves, and it's a war nobody can win. Let me pull the 8th card, and I'm getting the World, and this is absolutely mind-blowing. The World represents completion, fulfillment, achieving your goals, reaching the end of a major life cycle. But in this reading, it's showing me the complete opposite of what they're experiencing. They thought choosing this other person would bring them completion, but instead, they feel more incomplete than ever. The World card shows a figure dancing within a wreath, representing joy, celebration, and the satisfaction of a journey well-traveled. But I'm seeing them feeling like they're going through the motions without any real joy or satisfaction. They have what looks like a complete life on paper, but emotionally and spiritually, they feel empty and unfulfilled. This card is also showing me something profound about cycles and endings. The World represents the end of the Fool's journey, but in their case, they feel like they took a detour and ended up in the wrong place. They were on a journey with you that felt natural and right, but they abandoned that path for what seemed like a more practical destination. Now they realize they traded their authentic journey for someone else's idea of success. The World is also about integration, bringing together all aspects of yourself into a harmonious whole. That's exactly what they experienced with you. They could be their complete, authentic self. But with this other person, they feel fragmented, like they have to hide parts of who they are. The World shows me their mourning, the loss of that wholeness they felt with you. I'm getting strong visions of them looking at couples who seem genuinely happy and feeling this deep ache in their chest. The World represents the happiness and fulfillment they thought they would have by now, but instead, they feel more lost than ever. They see other people living their authentic lives, and they remember how that felt when they were with you. The World card is also showing me their realization that true success isn't about having the right job, the right house, the right person on paper. True success is about feeling complete, feeling fulfilled, feeling like you're living your authentic life. And they had that with you. They traded the World for fool's gold, and now they're living with the consequences of that choice. This card is also about recognition and achievement, and ironically, it's showing me how invisible they feel in their current relationship. With you, they felt seen, understood, appreciated for who they really were. Now they feel like they're playing a role, performing a version of themselves that gets approval, but doesn't feel real. The World is also about travel and expansion, and I'm seeing them feeling trapped and limited in their current situation. Their world has gotten smaller, more confined, less colorful. With you, life felt expansive, full of possibilities, full of adventure. Now every day feels the same, and they're realizing they traded their world for a prison that looks pretty from the outside. Now I'm pulling the 9th card, and I get the 4 of Wands, and this is hitting me right in the heart. The 4 of Wands is about celebration, homecoming, stability, and happy foundations. It typically represents weddings, housewarmings, family gatherings, all those milestone moments that should be filled with joy. But in this reading, it's showing me how hollow all these celebrations feel for them. The 4 of Wands shows 4 wands creating a canopy, representing the home and security you build with the right person. But I'm seeing them at celebrations that feel empty, surrounded by people congratulating them on a life that doesn't feel real. Maybe they've had an engagement party, a housewarming, a wedding, anniversary celebrations, but none of it feels like genuine celebration because they're with the wrong person. This card is also showing me their deep regret about the celebrations they should have had with you. The 4 of Wands represents all those milestones, all those happy moments, all those memories that should have been created with their real partner. They're going through the motions of building a life with someone else, but their heart knows those moments belong to you. I'm seeing them standing under that Four of Wands canopy, feeling completely alone. They might be married, living together, sharing a life on paper, but emotionally, they feel single because they're not with their person. The Four of Wands shows stability and security, but theirs feels false, temporary, like a house of cards that could collapse at any moment. This card is also about coming home, and it's showing me how they never feel truly at home with this other person. Home isn't a place, it's a feeling, and they felt at home with you. Now they're living in a beautiful house that doesn't feel like home because the right person isn't there to create that feeling with them. The Four of Wands is also showing me family dynamics and social pressure. Maybe family members love this other person. Maybe friends think they make a perfect couple. Maybe everyone keeps telling them how lucky they are. But the Four of Wands reveals the truth behind the facade. They're performing happiness for everyone else while dying inside from the lack of authentic connection. I'm also seeing them looking at wedding photos, anniversary pictures, holiday celebrations, and feeling disconnected from their own life. The Four of Wands should represent joyful memories being created, but instead it shows me forced smiles, awkward body language, and the unmistakable energy of someone who's in the wrong place with the wrong person. This card is also about tradition and doing things the right way, and I'm seeing how they chose the traditional path, the expected path, the path that looked good to others instead of following their heart. The Four of Wands shows me they have the structure of a happy life without any of the actual happiness. Let me pull the 10th and final card, and I'm getting the Sun, and this is the most powerful message of the entire reading. The Sun represents joy, success, positivity, enlightenment, and everything good in life. But in this context, it's showing me the stark contrast between the happiness they could have had with you and the fake happiness they're trying to create with someone else. The Sun card shows a child riding a white horse, representing pure joy, innocence, and authentic happiness. That's exactly the kind of natural, unforced joy they experienced with you. Everything felt light, easy, natural, like playing instead of working. But with this other person, happiness feels manufactured, forced, exhausting to maintain. This card is also showing me something that's going to absolutely blow your mind. The Sun represents clarity, enlightenment, seeing things as they really are. And they're having moments of crystal clear realization about what they lost when they lost you. These moments hit them like lightning, sudden and undeniable. They'll be going about their normal day, and suddenly they're overwhelmed by the memory of how good it felt to be genuinely happy with you. The Sun is also about success and achievement, and it's showing me how empty their external success feels without you to share it with. They might be doing well in their career, they might have material possessions, they might look successful to the outside world, but none of it brings them real joy because they're not sharing it with their person. I'm seeing them in moments of forced celebration, trying to feel the Sun energy but failing. Birthday parties that feel obligatory, promotions that feel hollow, achievements that feel meaningless because they can't share them authentically. The Sun shows me they remember how every good thing in life felt better when they could share it with you. The Sun card is also about children and innocence, and it's showing me their regret about the family they could have built with you. Maybe they're trying to build a family with this other person, but it feels forced and wrong. They know that children born from authentic love have a different energy, a different joy, and they're mourning the loss of what could have been. This card is also revealing their jealousy when they imagine you being happy without them. The Sun represents the joy and success you're experiencing in your life, and part of them is happy for you while another part is devastated that they're not there to share it with you. They want you to be happy, but they also wish they could be the source of that happiness. The Sun is also about optimism and positive thinking, but they're struggling to maintain any real optimism about their current situation. They keep trying to focus on the positive, keep trying to make it work, keep trying to find the silver lining, but the Sun reveals that true positivity can't be forced or manufactured. It comes naturally when you're living your authentic life with the right person. Finally, the sun is showing me something beautiful about divine timing and ultimate truth. Just like the sun always rises, truth always comes to light. The sun represents the moment when all the pretending stops, when all the denial crumbles, when they finally admit to themselves and everyone else that they made a mistake. That moment is coming, and when it does, it's going to change everything. So Taurus, after seeing all 10 cards, the message from the universe is crystal clear. This person who chose someone else, who walked away, who thought they could do better, they're living with the consequences of that choice every single day. They wake up next to the wrong person. They go to sleep next to the wrong person. And in between, they're constantly reminded of what real love felt like with you. The cards are showing me that karma isn't some distant concept. It's happening right now in real time. Every forced smile, every awkward conversation, every moment they have to pretend to be happy, that's karma. Every time they see something that reminds them of you, every time they wish they could share a moment with you instead of this other person, that's karma. Every night they lie awake thinking about what could have been, that's karma. But here's what I want you to understand about all of this. The cards aren't telling you this story so you can feel sorry for them or so you can wait around hoping they'll come back. The cards are telling you this story so you can fully understand your own worth, your own power, your own irreplaceable value. You were never the problem. You were never lacking anything. You were perfect exactly as you were, and losing you is their loss, not yours. The universe is showing you this reading so you can close this chapter with complete clarity about what really happened. They didn't leave because you weren't good enough. They left because they were scared of how good it was with you. They chose the safe option, the expected option, the option that looked right on paper, instead of choosing love. And now they're learning the hard way, that you can't build lasting happiness on a foundation of settling. I want you to take all this information and use it to fuel your own joy, your own success, your own authentic happiness. While they're struggling to find genuine connection with the wrong person, you get to be open to finding it with the right person. While they're trapped in a situation they created, you're free to create whatever kind of life brings you real joy. The cards are also showing me that your energy has completely shifted since this separation. You've grown, you've healed, you've become even more amazing than you were before. The person they're missing, the person they're comparing everyone to, that person has evolved into someone even more incredible. They lost the old you, but they have no idea how amazing the new you has become. I'm also getting the message that you shouldn't wait for them to figure it out. You shouldn't hold space for them to come back. You shouldn't put your life on hold hoping they'll realize their mistake. The cards are showing me that your happiness, your love, your beautiful future is waiting for you, and it might not include them at all. Sometimes people come into our lives to teach us what we deserve, not to be what we deserve. And that might be exactly what this person was for you. So beautiful, Taurus. Take this reading as confirmation of everything your heart already knew. Take it as validation that your feelings were real, your connection was special, and losing you was their mistake, not your failure. Take it as permission to release any lingering guilt or blame or wondering what you could have done differently. You did everything right, they chose wrong, and now they're learning what that choice really costs. Use this energy to fuel your own success, your own joy, your own authentic happiness. While they're stuck in the past wondering what if, you get to create a future that's even better than anything you could have imagined. While they're learning hard lessons about settling, you get to attract someone who chooses you first, who fights for you, who never makes you question your worth or your place in their life. The universe is preparing something beautiful for you, and this whole experience was just clearing the path for what's really meant to be yours. Trust the process, trust your worth, and most importantly, trust that sometimes losing someone is the universe's way of making room for someone even better than